to catch me lacking. Bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You can see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to rumble.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Chicago Bears and the New Orleans Saints.
Okay, Coach, it is always a celebration here in New Orleans, and we are just outside of the French Quarter at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Chicago Bears and the New Orleans Saints. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now Trubisky on first down. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Let's get a quick look at the Saints offense.
And they should come in pretty well rested because they had their open week last week. Ideally, all teams want to have that open week later in the year rather than this early. But you make do with what they give you. So you take the time off, rest up, heal up, and come in ready to play.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Trubisky. That's complete to Marlon Mack. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 10 yards, good for his Saints first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
A pass complete here to Conley. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. It's quite a unit. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, it'd easily move into the top 5.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. Stepping up, he'll touchdown, Saints. This is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it was all capped off by Mitchell Trubisky's touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 5'11 quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. From the 31, Wilson firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. And this unit, very tough to throw against, currently second best in the NFL.
And this unit knows exactly where they rank. They're number 2 against the pass in the NFL. You know they have their sights set on being number 1, looking for a big game today.
From the gun on third down, Wilson. Open man is Ross, complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear first down.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on fourth down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. Now, we know this coaching staff, they have traits of aggression in their history, but what a start to this game. They're going for it.
Yeah, a lot of people might say reckless, but they got it. 1 for 1 on fourth down here early in the game.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. This is Mostert. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the gun, it's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And this is picked up by the Saints. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35.
Let's be frank, you hate the fumble at the end of the play, but prior to that, I liked a lot of what was going on. Tucks it down, takes off, picks up good yardage. But in that portion of the field, that close to the sideline,
step out.
Yeah, either get down or get out of bounds. Take care of the ball.
Yeah, he had the yards, but then the mistake. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Geno Atkins got home that time. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
A third down gain of 19. Trubisky will come up here 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Now we'll carry from Mack. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the Bears' 17-yard line.
On second down, here's a run with Mack. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for third down. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted one time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. Third downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. They go play action here on first down. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Jabal Sheard wreaking the defensive havoc. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's Wilson. He's going to have the hook up to Ross.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Wilson now to throw on third down. The catch is made by Riley Ridley. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Raheem Mostert, his second touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end, Njoku. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Throwing here, Trubisky. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Out of the gun, Trubisky. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be...
And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
180. Defense, let's go. Pick it up, D. Under 10. Under 10.
On third down, a run by Mack. He did well to get him 8 yards, but it's still going to mean a call to the punt team on fourth down.
Well, they got off the field on third down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory.
Ready?
Now Wilson on first down. Flushed out right. Going deep downfield. They've got his man complete. And they finally take him down, but not before he reaches the 43. No, I'm not mad at you for skipping halftime, but can I just have a sip of water real quick? Thank you. All right, let's go. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. There's Mostert, and he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen, and a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. From the gun on third down. Wilson got a man. It's Ross, complete. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues, and the chains move again. Flush to his right. Going to throw right side here. Complete. Give him 30 yards there.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
Now it's Wilson, and he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Russell Wilson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bears have taken the lead. Russell Wilson now will bring his guys up to go for 2. Here's Wilson to throw. And that is caught for the 2 points. And, of course, on the 2-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They begin the drive on the ground with Mack. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's Quentin Dunbar with a pick. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Tariq Cohen, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bears turn that interception into a touchdown. Extra point put through by Boswell.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Let's go.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That good for 22 and a 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
From the red zone now, here's Trubisky on 1st down. This goes to Mack on the check down. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Looking to run with Mack. And barreled his way into the end zone for a Saint touchdown. Marlon Mack, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are back within a single score. Now Trubisky to throw. And there the counterplay proves successful for the touchdown. What typically makes a counterplay in general successful, Charles?
But what you're trying to do, Brandon, is to get the team moving in one direction, meaning the defense, get them going in one direction and then wall them off with your blocking and bring it back in the other direction. That way, you don't actually have to punish them with your blocking. You just position them. And if you have any kind of a good back, he'll take full advantage of it and gain good yardage.
Tariq Cohen and the rest of the offense heading back out there. Since emerging from the locker room at intermission, he's looked pretty sharp, hasn't he?
He's running in this 3rd quarter like he got the orange slices at the half.
Oh, yeah.
You remember when
he got the orange slices, not the carrot stick.
Oh, boy.
There was always that mom, wasn't there?
There's always that mom. Wasn't yours, wasn't mine. All right, if I the carrot sticks. But this guy, orange slices, and been reading the Surface tablet, watching the defenses, and he's made some nice adjustments.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now Mostert. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They run on 1st down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. Jamal Sheard on the stop. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now think about all the practices we've watched.
Oh, no, he lost the football.
I'm going to hit you all day.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. A critical error there in a tight game in the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Dumps this one off to Mack. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 10 yards, good for his Saints, first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. And it's caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Sterling Shepard, his first touchdown on the year. And once again, the Saints are back out in front. And that touchdown puts them ahead as we hit the 2-minute warning.
And they've set us up for a fantastic finish.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that will make this a 4-point game. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So Russell Wilson in the offense. Down by 4, 2:01 remaining. They'll have one play here just north of the 2-minute warning.
14, got it.
Mostert. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Watch the whip.
Wilson to throw. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here? Or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
Get the ball. Fair. Easy.
Now Wilson. Got a man open. It's Ross. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. A good pickup there, 21 yards. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every...
And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one, because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. Out comes the Chicago defense getting ready for the next possession. They've got a situation where a field goal ties it. How do you defend this? Because you obviously don't want to give up the touchdown. How aggressive do you get?
That's always the key, isn't it? Where is the line on aggressiveness to over-aggressiveness? And I think most coordinators are looking at it like run your regular defense, add some pressure packages, because really the 35-yard line is the one you really want to defend. At that point, you're thinking you're probably giving up 3. Anything outside of that, you feel like you've got a chance to hold them.
So they'll be in search of the proper amount of pressure. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
One last shot for Trubisky. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Chicago, they moved back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home